Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to your Rangers Review News Bulletin. It's been a while since we recorded one of these, just due to the amount of Rangers content that we've been producing here at the Review. But there's been a lot of fallout from last night's game at Ibrox. So let's get stuck in, shall we? Where shall we start? Well, John Souttar, you will have seen his embargoed interview from the Mix Zone last night is now available to watch over on the YouTube channel. He's been discussing the disappointment of losing 3 quick-fire goals last night, and he's examined the prospects of Rangers overturning that 2-goal deficit. He said, of course, it's difficult, but when you're here at Rangers and 3-0 down, you have to expect it. Everyone knows the demands here, and the demands here are to win and get through that tie. We still have next week, obviously, but the way we started, we put pressure on ourselves. The first 2 goals especially were poor, so we have to look back on that. And next week, we need to start better. Look, I think it's unfair for him, meaning Russell Martin, to take the flak. I think we all have to take it. It's not just the manager. I think we're all due it. Everyone at this club who wants to play here has to understand that when things are not going well and the demands are not met, then you're going to take the flat. You need to accept that. He also added, first half, I think we actually shot ourselves in the foot with how we started. When you give away the goals we did, that makes any game difficult, especially a game like that when there is so much at stake and we're playing against a team of that quality. Second half, we were a bit better and made them a bit more uncomfortable, but first half, I thought the damage was done. I think that's going to put anyone off. You can plan for anything, but you can't plan for losing 2 goals like that, especially on an occasion like that. And it's up to us to react. We did a bit in the second half and got to go back, and then we've got to go over there and see what happens. So, yeah, that is John Souttar. You can read everything he had to say on that after the game over on the website, folks. Or as I said, you can go and watch his interview on the YouTube channel right now. Incidentally, just a heads up, Max Aarons was also speaking in that mix zone. That was also embargoed. That will be available tomorrow at noontime. Danilo was speaking, and you can go and watch his interview as well over on the YouTube channel. Now, Club Brugge, of course, well in the driving seat, and one of the players who netted last night is this chap here. He scored the 3rd goal, Brandon Mekele. He admitted it was music to his ears when the boos erupted around Ibrox. He said, we silenced the crowd to the extent they even booed their own players. It was fantastic to come here and to score such a beautiful goal, made it even more special. It's one for the history books. We were really strong in the first half and we had more chances to score. But it got tougher when we conceded a quick goal in the second half. We tried to slow the pace of the match and threatened with a few counter-attacks. Defensively, we were good. At home, if we play like we did in the first half, we should be able to go through, but it's still football, so we have to be careful. Next week is incredibly important. And the opening goal scorer, Romeo Vermont, admitted he couldn't believe it when he was gifted that early opening goal after that mix-up between Nasser Giga and Jack Butland. He says it's ideal to score after 2 minutes, especially after a mistake from them. I expected the defender or the keeper to just pick the ball up, but to my surprise, they both let it go. Then it was just a case of going for it. And yes, it was a pretty good finish, even if I say so myself. It was a good finish, incidentally, but it should never have manifested itself. It was an absolute gift. And left Rangers with a real mountain to climb, certainly after losing the 2 further goals. It was a disastrous opening 20 minutes from Rangers. We discussed the performance at length on the show this morning when I was joined by Joshua and by Stevie. Where do Rangers go from here? You can understand the fans' frustrations at this moment in time. There is not a lot, if anything, to cling on to. And do I expect or to anticipate Rangers getting back into this tie? I do not, to be honest with you. I can see them conceding next week. They're going to have to improve big style, and that may very well be a bridge too far for this Rangers team. I said it before, I think it was an achievement even getting to this stage, to be honest with you. Brugge are a step up from Pilsen and Panathinaikos, had relieved that it wasn't any worse than what it ended last night. I thought after 20 minutes, Rangers could have been on the receiving end of a cricket score, but Yeah, silver lining and all that, I guess, that they managed to damage or limit the damage. Now, one of the big talking points from the game was the incident in the second half when Jedi Gasma, who was good last night, he and Jaden Magoma, for me, the two good performers on a really tough night, carved open an opportunity. Gassama, and looked like he had reduced the deficit even further when he poked the ball home with it looked like Simon Mignolet had failed to grasp the ball, but it was ruled out after a VAR check. Now, on Amazon Prime last night were these two gentlemen, Rangers heroes Alan McGregor and Scott Arfield. And speaking after the game, they touched on that incident. Unfortunately, I think it was probably the right decision, Alan McGregor said. I think it was the right call. You can see that he does have both hands on the ball. Arfield said, I agree. Obviously, Alan doesn't want to give that answer, but he's also a member of the goalies union, so he has to stick up for them. You have to say he's got the two hands on the ball. It's a bit soft, but he's in control. It's one of those where if it's for you, you're delighted. But if it's not, you feel aggrieved. Now, afterwards as well, Russell Martin was asked about it in his press conference. He says, I don't know if Gas touched it first or not. My only issue is with VAR. They decide to show the referee a still image first. I think at that point, it's game over because he sees the still of the ball within his hand. So I don't know why that happens. Apart from that, it is what it is. So that is what Russell Martin had to say on the incident as well. Moving away from the game, one man who was heavily linked with a move to Rangers, it certainly looked like he would be arriving. That is this chap here, Nobel Mendy. Now, he has completed his move to Rio Vallecano. So he'll be staying in Spain, the 21-year-old centre-back. He had agreed, well, both Rangers and Betis had agreed a deal. Looked like the defender had plumped for a move to Glasgow. However, it collapsed, and in recent days, reports suggesting that it may have been an issue with his medical. But Vallecano have swooped in and concluded a loan deal with the player, so he will stay in La Liga for the time being. So, yeah, an interesting one there. I think Rangers, as we've mentioned before, as I've mentioned before on a number of videos, they are lacking experience in the back line. And that was evident again last night. As I touched on, Jaden Magoma, I thought was probably the man of the match last night, but it's a tall ask to ask him to play every minute of every game at left back. I think Rangers need to bring in a more experienced left back to take a share of the responsibility there, and also an experienced left-sided centre-back. And the quicker these guys are identified, the better. Right, that's just a handful of some of the news stories doing the rounds today, folks. As I mentioned, you can go, if you can stomach it, you can go and watch those press conferences in full over on the YouTube channel. Tomorrow morning, Blair will be joining me on the show 9:30 as ever, so we hope you can join us for that. In the meantime, enjoy your Wednesday, whatever you're up to, and we'll chat again soon. Bye for now.